Welcome back to the agency. This is Detective Chase Clay, continuing the case of Call of the Sea. I have a smile on my face in slight frustration because, truth be told, I recorded this already before, so I've already been through the part of the story that we're going through now. And I'm saying this because the recording failed because my audio wasn't picked up. And all it was like a mime show. It was like... So what I'm doing is I'm redoing this part of the story that couldn't record properly, but I can't fake a reaction as if I've never seen it before because I have. So I'm just going to go through it and hopefully everything will be okay. So previously, we spent a lot of time on this, what should have been a relatively simple puzzle, but I overcomplicated it, making a literal mountain, well not literal, but making a mountain out of a molehill. It's just, I overanalyzed it too much. More than I should have, but that's okay because we eventually completed it. And what happened was it allowed a waterfall to open, hit a wheel, a hydroelectric generator. The force of the water turned the wheel, which turned on the generator, which now can create electricity. Frank unfortunately passed away, as you can see on the board, name crossed out. And I've just updated a little bit to describe more about the black ink and its properties of responding or changing according to vibrational frequencies, and that causes it to move around and whatnot. But with that recap done, we will get right back here. So this is the one that we need to get into. It shouldn't be too bad. Luckily it was only half an hour's worth of footage, but it's okay, things like this happen. It was my fault. I should have double-checked, triple-checked, quadruple-checked that everything was working, but it's all good. So what we need to do is we need to tune the power according to Norah's journal so we can get it routed to this surround sound system and hopefully make the right sound for the doors to open, because when Harry and his crew did it, it caused a landslide, so they were completely wrong.
Did it. Now everything should be powered.
Speaking of which, I think I already did tune it with this little puzzle that we did at the end. So I think we should be okay. And yeah, so big waterfall falling down on a wheel, causing the wheel to turn, causing that to do its magic. Or its science, should I say. This all feels like deja vu because I've done all this before, but hey, we still gotta keep pushing. Things happen. Shit happens, as they say. Right, so we're just continuing the flow of electricity to get on top of... I thought this was the panel to control this man-made organ, but I believe this is just like a pylon to distribute electricity to the main sound system, which is down there with the speakers and everything. So let's turn this on.
Oh, what? Did I do something wrong? Come on, work. Come on.
Like I said before, that scream sounds so familiar. I'm not sure where I've heard it before, but it just sounds like a very common scream sound I've heard before on maybe another game. I'm not entirely sure. Also, sometimes punching things works, but other times it causes them to spark.
What's happening this time? Where am I?
And blow up, so be careful with electricals. Can I... Nope. There is an invisible wall. Actually, no. It's not an invisible wall. It is a force field created by our subconscious letting us know that that way is not to go. Good explanation for game mechanics.
I can feel the fever rising. Oh God, no. My illness. Is it coming back?
I just noticed all these dead fish. I didn't see that before.
Was this an ocean? An ocean that dried up?
And I'd like to know what this massive bone creature is. Or was. Harry and Norah?
My cane.
So, it seems like her fever, affliction, illness is acting up again. I thought she was constantly experiencing it, but it seems like...
They're so dry. I need to find water.
It seems like it has its peaks.
My bed. Another memory of my illness. How many times did I think I was going to die lying in this bed?
Because Norah, when she got on the ship sailing towards here, she did say she feels better than she ever has for a long time. So, it makes me think...
I'd better find some shade before I dry right up.
It makes me think that this illness used to be constant. Now maybe she's feeling better. Maybe it comes back in...
horseshoe-shaped pillar. And that diamond shape again.
It comes back in waves, perhaps. And it seems like it's sometimes physically debilitating, like it really hurts her physical health. Not to mention her mental as well, for
I can't take much more of this. I feel woozy.
for feeling crap all the time.
Is that a house?
Aye. It's a house that seems to be evaporating.
That's not a house. That's our house in Inglewood.
Oh, we're in the sea.
Am I dreaming? Or am I just losing my mind?
Oh, it's not evaporating, it's just bubbles. Also, I noticed it's like, we're in the sea, right? Bubbles, water everywhere, fish. And then there's a sea down here as well. It's like, I said this before, it's kind of like, it's like in SpongeBob when they're in the sea, but you can also see water at the same time. It's trippy.
It's our mailbox, too.
So this is their house in Englewood, back at home.
Harry? Are you home?
Bit of a teleport.
I miss you so much, old pal.
The water distorts their face and kind of makes it look pretty funny. They're bloated.
A picnic with Harry's brother and sisters. I started wearing gloves shortly after that day.
Pun not intended. Yeah, I wonder, she says she started wearing gloves shortly after that day. I hope his brothers and sisters didn't, like, you know, take the piss out of her for having physical, what's the word? Defects, you know, like the spots on her hand. I hope they weren't bullying her and mentioning that, which made her cover them up. Well, that could have just been a picture of the time it started to really develop.
I'm definitely losing my mind.
Yeah, I mean, we're underwater and you're breathing fine.
I don't understand what is happening, Harry. Are you...
I think you are losing your mind. That's a cool effect. The sound with the water and then it's just normal. Right.
Checkmate in 3 moves.
I don't know why, I always get the king and queen mixed up in chess.
Harry gave me this necklace after one of his scavenger hunts.
Wait, what necklace? Oh, in her hand, okay. I was looking at her neck then, I was like, huh?
It's a photo of my mother and me. She had just gotten worse from her illness.
Her spots are on her neck. I wonder if it's all around her body, like... Do they originate from the hands and then they move up to the body?
The happiest day of my life.
Or around the body?
And one of the few pictures of Harry without his glasses.
I'm not gonna lie, Harry looks way better with glasses because I think glasses on anyone look nicer because they're kind of like an accessory. Something to add to you. Wait, this is the amulet that we saw back on the island, and I'm pretty sure I saw this claw thing before near the thing that I thought was a keyboard puzzle, but it wasn't.
The Everhart twosome. What a duo.
She's singing, right? And he's playing piano. Anything on the back? Nope.
My mother's music box. Yet again.
Yeah, I'll get back to that in a minute. Greetings from... Yantley? Yantley?
Cousin Robert? But I don't have any cousins.
I wish you were here, Cousin Robert. I mean, there's a fish person on there. What does that mean? There's a mermaid in the box.
What a sweet melody.
And on top of the box there's an engraving of a fish folk. There is something very fishy, pun intended, about Thistle. No, but seriously, you know, look at this, the temple, there's a fish temple, there's fish totems, we see fish people, we saw a giant fish creature, we see writings about fish folk. DeWitt might have turned into a fish with the fish footprints in the sand. This should be starting, I'm not sure about Norah, but this should be starting to piece together.
What was that? Another vivid dream?
You can't
In
chalk...
my music box again, but it wasn't broken anymore. And what a catchy tune.
After all these things that happen, you can't chalk it up to a dream. You have to start being a bit skeptic and actually thinking, is there more to this place than meets the eye?
I'm not going back up there. The fuse box is already providing electricity to this entire setup.
Well, don't punch fuse boxes, because that seems like a bad idea. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I just gotta quickly run back here because the previous time I did this, I was testing out something. Rip Frank, by the way. Wait, what was his daughter's name? Is Eva?
Oh, Frank had a daughter named Evangeline. What a darling.
Evangeline. Yeah, because when I walked this way last time, Norah was saying something else, but the voice line got interrupted, so...
I've lived more in these last 2 days than in the previous 6 years. With my illness, I'd forgotten about the kind of person I am. I might not be daring, but I am determined. Love gave me strength, but it also gave me something to lose.
Okay. I feel like, now that I think about it, I feel
These
like...
drops of rain are so refreshing. Feels really good.
Yeah, I feel like there are recurring voice lines. Not sure if that's a glitch, but it's still pretty cool what she says. Right. Now we put the power here. There's like, look at the hook things. What is that? It's like some kind of energy or something. Play the right tune.
I haven't sung since I got sick. But
Oh.
let's give it a shot.
Oh, I've already heard this, but it still gives me chills. It's so good. I forgot the name of the musician again, but I'm gonna write it down because respect to him. This music is fantastic. I love it so much.
That was quite a show.
It's so good.
Now that it's filled with water, it looks like a baptismal pool.
Okay. Do these symbols correlate with the baptism? Is that where the fish folk go to be reborn to their new kind?
This feels like hallowed ground.
Race? Damn, this place is beautiful though. Oh, it's a broken ladder. Can I get up there, I wonder? I actually didn't see that ladder before.
A hole in the wall, probably caused by the rock slide. That must be the spot where they entered the temple.
Norah, come on. Just we can move a few boxes and do a little leap and climb up, please? Damn. So that's the way inside the temple. We can't get in that way because of the rock slide and the broken ladder. And physics apparently isn't a thing, so... You know, we can just do a little bit of a hop and a skip and get up there. So I guess we find another way around.
Are they bathing him in black ooze?
Just like what happened to Norah in the ritual well, right? Near the abandoned campsite when we first got here.
His hands are changing, like in my dream.
Oh. Is this guy a slave, though? Because in our previous notes, we see him with shackles. Oh, my notes already... Oh, I'll close that. Notes carry on, even though I loaded a previous save. That's interesting. Those are spoilers. Don't pay attention to those yet. We'll come across them in a bit. Yeah, because in Nora's dream, she starts to get fish hands. I hope Norah doesn't turn into a fish person.
Look at those spots. They look like mine.
So Nora's already had the dreams of fish hands. She has the spots.
Now he's some sort of man-fish?
But that's interesting because... That's really interesting. Hold on. I have a thought.
Fish of every size and shape.
DeWitt, it wasn't... Nora's had this for way, way longer. DeWitt only came in contact with the goo when they blew open the ritual well and the goo went over him. Then in the picture we saw fish footprints in the sand where he was tied up and escaped. So has he already became a fish person maybe? But then why hasn't Norah yet? Because obviously she's been with this affliction longer. And also, does this represent them becoming actual fish? Or does it maybe represent how many different sea creatures there are in the ocean? And how many different fish folk there are after transformation? Which I also remember that the icon... Where are you gone? There was an icon, hold on. I can't find it, but the rhombus-like shapes, they mean different things in different cultures, but in this culture, I forget the name of wherever this fish folk culture is, or maybe Tahitian, I'm not sure. The rhombus, this diamond thing represents transformation and evolution. Perhaps transformation evolution into the next stage for these people, which they think is a fish person?
This looks like the same kind of elevator that was in the campsite.
What does it say? Right, so upper floor, tunnel, ground floor, another elevator mechanism.
These patterns look too familiar.
This makes me think the person might actually turn into a fish. Common patterns in fish. Also, I thought it was fish, not fishes. The plural. Man, I don't know whether it's gonna be... I'm not sure whether it's human fish folk done, or is it human fish folk fish.
She sounds worried for him, I think.
Because turning to a fish doesn't seem like evolution. That seems like devolving. Harry's been up there for 3 days now and he isn't responding. What did he find? If I could go up... This is Cass talking, I assume. Oh boy. Yeah, I thought this was an entire puzzle before, but... It's just the button to go up.
Where is this taking me?
I spent a couple of minutes before just walking around like, how do I solve this? No, just press the button and go up.
Looks like I'm inside the giant fish head that I saw from below.
Right. Clues.
Well, this one was easy, I think.
So this symbol means transformation, like a caterpillar into a butterfly. A letter from Harry.
My dear old pal, Norah. I wish I could write something else, but a long time ago I promised you I would never lie to you. So here goes. There is no cure for your illness. What you carry in your blood is changing you, and it will keep changing you until it's done, whatever that means. There is nothing we can do to stop it. My dear old pal, my partner, the love of my life, I am so sorry. I've made so many mistakes. All those deaths because of me. Frank, DeWitt, Roy. All for nothing. Maybe Teodoro is right. Maybe we can return to the beach and build a raft to get back to Papeete. Maybe in less than a month, I could be back.
There's no cure? But he didn't finish the letter. What did you do, Harry? Where are you? I know for sure that you didn't go back home, so what? What do I do now? Are you still on the island? I have to find you.
He was talking about in her blood. So was she born with this because her mother had the same thing? So maybe Norah didn't come into contact with any goo. Maybe it's just hereditary. Like genetics passed down from her mother. Was her mother or one of their ascendants, their previous backup in the ancestry, were they maybe from this island or a fish person, I wonder? Also, second thing, this may be completely irrelevant, this may be a genuine clue. It's interesting that Harry stopped his letter, but the letter was neatly tucked inside in the envelope and stamped on top of that as well. I'm not sure if that's just a graphical design, or did he, maybe he either got abducted, maybe he purposefully just, maybe angrily stopped writing the letter, put it in, maybe he found something else. I don't know. But the letter was, it seemed to be purposefully put in an envelope, even though it was half finished.
God's blood. Does this mean that... Is this related to me somehow, to my disease?
So... does this symbol mean God's blood? And this means destined, inevitable transformation. This is scribbled out, there's nothing here. Those who have God's blood are destined, inevitable transformation into a water animal to eternal life, live forever. Well, by simple grammar, right? Wouldn't it just be those who have God's blood are destined into a water animal? That doesn't make sense. Those who have God's blood are transformation into a water animal. None of these make sense. Those who have God's blood are transformed, but that's not the word, into a water animal to eternal life to live forever. Eternal life? Just purely by logic. But in here, none of these make sense. Destined might.
So that's how you mark the symbol's orientation.
Well, okay, so... that is the sign for... transformation, okay? So that's the sign for transformation on the bottom right. Rotating the north wheel causes the symbol to change quadrant. So this is the north wheel. And if you move it there... Okay, I see. So this is the north. This diamond here. This tiny thing here represents the sign. But this is the north, and if you move it clockwise 90 degrees, it becomes here. And that becomes the new north. So that moves the icon from the bottom right to the top right, just by how it's positioned relative to the icon. So if I wanted the symbol to be bottom left, that would mean I would move the wheel to here, because this becomes the new north. And then if you look at it sideways, that is the bottom left from the new position, right? I think.
I'm starting to understand this language.
Eternal plus that symbol means eternal life. Eternal plus life.
This one was really hard to figure out. Good job, Harry.
This means eternal. And then there's a star. What does that say? I can't read that. Does that say Norah? M-N-A? I can't read that.
Well done, Harry. Boy, am I lucky that you did the hard part of figuring things out.
Okay. The language works by combining different symbols to create a new one. Ideograms? I don't know what an ideogram is. Word A plus word B equals new word. Okay, so in their diamond rhombus shape thing, this line represents eternal. This curve must represent life. So combine these two shapes means eternal life, right? So this line, we're pretty much back to where I ended the last episode, by the way. We're caught up. And I was here about to figure out the puzzle or start solving the puzzle. So this line means eternal. These two circles mean transformation. So this is eternal transformation, right? Destined, eternal transformation. What's another word for eternal transformation? I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure.
John McCormack's Dear Old Pal of Mine? A favorite song.
Oh wait, I'm not caught up to where I was because there's still these to read, but after that then I will be caught up. But I was in this room.
I've seen this symbol in the murals several times. I guess it can be applied to both water and black ooze.
So this symbol means... I'm gonna guess liquid because it's double lined. This must mean... One of these must mean water. This must mean goop because the goo was falling from the ceiling. This must mean water, like water in a jug. Alright, when I interacted with these, I essentially... Now I can show you, no spoilers. I essentially noted them down in this book. So these different murals have different meanings. So this means... What do you mean? Liquid. This means... Transformation? Yeah, transformation. This means life. Life. And the last one means eternal, as we've written down in our books. Okay. And then... Wait, did I already read this? Yeah, I did. I don't know what these wheels are. I didn't mess with them.
Harry marked this symbol for a reason. I'd better write it down.
Water animal. What was that? It's got the symbol for life here. And it's also got the chest looking design, the plus looking sign here. So that's combining liquid and life, so water animal. Good job, Harry. What's...
Harry threw a bottle against the wall. Was it because he was frustrated for not deciphering this? Or because of what he discovered when he did?
Why would you throw a bottle against a wall if you discovered? Unless he was... Okay, so... Hold on.
Harry threw a bottle against the wall. Was it because he was frustrated for not deciphering this? Or because of what he discovered when he did?
No, because Actually, we're not sure if Harry and crew went on. I thought they went over the rope ladder to get deeper into the temple. Unless this is deeper into the temple.
A broken liquor bottle. Is this Harry's? He hates booze.
Clearly he's stuck to drinking after all these revelations that he found. So he threw the bottle because he couldn't figure out the puzzle, or he just got angry that Norah is destined to perhaps become a fish person in the end because of her blood.
It's amazing how words and symbols can keep their meaning after thousands of years.
I mean, that's generally with language, right? Language all comes from somewhere. Like a lot of European languages are based on the original Latin language, right? Some things are changed over and whatnot, but generally the original meanings are kept, some part of them in the words, in spirit. So this means life or alive. No, it means life, right? Yes, it means life, according to our notes there. And I know I could go back downstairs, but I don't think there was any point in doing that. But it's good timing anyways, because this is exactly where I left, where I ended the previous failed recording. I'm still so annoyed about that, but it's okay, because we got back to where we were. So this is where we were, and I believe that she also added some notes to her journal, which was towards the end here. Right, yeah, so there's some sort of amphitheater where Harry and his crew built a complex sound system. Maybe crowds used to gather in this place to sing certain music to open the door. Oh wait, we've already read this. No, it wasn't this. I know a new note appeared. Okay, we were here. I managed to turn the power on, but the electric current knocked me out cold. Then I had the strangest vision. A desert filled with the skeletons of odd sea creatures, and our house in Englewood was floating there. I found my music box inside, but now it was playing music. I can't get the tune out of my head. The vision was so vivid, more than a dream somehow. And that song, I feel it's connected to the island somehow. When I got in front of the mic, the song from the music box came into my head, and then into my voice. With a thunderous sound, the temple rebuilt itself right in front of my eyes, and the door opened. It was weird, but I knew that it was the right song. The temple door leads to a spiral hallway with murals on the walls. Harry used an ancient elevator to climb to the top of the temple, but he didn't come back down for days. What did he find up there? The elevator took me to the second level. I'm amazed about this technology. Civilization used the black ooze for everything. The upper room is an impressive hollow in the fish head, decorated with murals with intricate figures. It seems that Harry discovered that those symbols were words and that he spent a long time trying to figure their meaning. Harry looked disoriented, irritable, and confused. He's never been a drinker, not even before Prohibition. I don't know what Prohibition is. I'm scared to put this down in writing, lest it make it true. Which was where Harry was talking about she may be doomed to become a fish person. Harry seemed sure that there's no cure for my illness. In a vague, unfinished letter, he said my body will keep changing until the end. But what end is Harry talking about? Death? I think at this point, like I was saying earlier, with all the clues culminating to this fish theme and fish folk, I feel like, I'm not sure if this is from a gameplay standard or genuine, but I feel like Norah should start connecting some pieces here. Even though the truth may be horrible, she still should acknowledge it to prepare for something in the future that she may be able to subvert, but I never noticed this before. I think she should start getting a bit skeptical and just think, well, not skeptical, being open to things now.
Someone punched the wall so hard that they bled. Was it you, Harry?
Could have done it out of frustration. Also, I never saw that before, so I may do one more quick run around of this place to find out if there's anything hiding, because I never noticed that. But yes, now we're all well and caught up. Perfect timing, because I'm going to end it here and we'll pick it back up next time and see if we can fix this puzzle and what lies beyond the chambers. And if we can not get Norah to turn into a fish person, that would be great. But in the meantime, keep your eyes open for it. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.